Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 25th episode of the WMMA 5 series here on the channel. Oh my god, I felt like I fucked that up completely. WMMA 5 here on the channel, as it is almost Absolute Fury. It's almost time for that. So, an update. Fucking could not make this a one-night tournament because, let's say, Sakuraba loses to Pat Miletich, and let's say Chuck Liddell beats Nate Marcotte. The Athletic Commission in California says that Chuck Liddell and Pat Miletich cannot fight each other. Now, here's the thing. I have it to where, basically, we'll go to the user preferences, show this. So, fantasy matchmaking. That is, basically... Oh, I thought it was not on. Is it not on? Hold on here. Hold on. Hold on here. As, we'll just... This is an easy little fix, because I think you can just cancel, and then cancel. Alright, so then, it's good, because you gotta make an open way. Gotta find Chuck. Oh, make it 4. So, Chuck, Liddell, Nate Marcotte, Sakuraba, and then Pat Miletich. Which side B? I know. Alright. Okay, perfect. Never mind. Don't mind me. As, we'll just edit this real quick. And, so Chuck Liddell, I wanted that to be pretty up on the card. So here's what we're gonna have to do. So this, there, this is now here. And, we'll also put P. Williams and Kevin Randleman up there as well, just to give both everybody involved a good amount of time. So, alright, so now we have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we've now got a 10-match card. We might move some of this to the Grand Prix Finals show. Trying to think. This, honestly, I love Mirko and Gary Goodrich. We're going to put that on that card, because this is going to be fucking awesome. So we'll move that. We'll keep Oleg Taktarov and Don Fry just because, and then Guy Metzger, you're gonna know we'll keep that over there as well. Alright, so now it's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 match card. That's fine. I don't know why I just had to recount it. I just said it was 10. That don't mind me. So yeah, our card here is looking pretty nice as well. We got the Gracies on, which they're taking on Anderson 17, Minoru Suzuki, always Gracie. That's just a fun little matchup for me. Mirko Krokop and Gary Goodrich and Pedro The Rock Hizzo taking on Andre Arlovsky. That's gonna be an awesome fucking fight. Some badass heavyweight fights. The Gracies on the card. Anderson Silva's kind of down there, hiding down there, but he knocked out Hoist Gracie in his Pride debut. I want him to take on Henzo next. And then this is still there. The Shockwave card, Dan Anderson and Igor. That's going to be awesome. Nice little super fight in Nobuya Takada and Hideko Yoshida. As that's going to definitely be the main event. Both guys, even though it's both guys, super main event, high level international. They'll get 2 bigger stars than that. It makes sense to have them fight. But Absolute Fury, this card, holy fuck, Bob Sapp, Yoshihiro, Takayama. But before we get into that, we do have some mail to go over. As should we keep? Honestly, I guess I should just keep that on. There's been times I've turned it on, turned it off. We'll turn it back off. Maybe. Hopefully it doesn't fuck up that card. But yeah, it's just, that's perfect. Perfect. As, we'll look at the mail real quick before we get going. As Insonoe joined the pit. Hopefully he loses all of his fights in UFC, so they'll cut him and we'll sign it right back. Josh Burnett left Team Quest after losing to Big Nog. He joined Lions Den. I thought that was interesting. We signed Chael Sonnen, but we put him in rings. He's 6-3. I remember they did the Anderson Silva fight very early on in their careers, and that was really his first big loss. But he's lost 2 back-to-back at UFC, and I think they cut him, or we just stole him from him. Forget which, how it went, but that's basically where we're at with Chael Sonnen. That's fun. Damian Maia extended his deal. Nate Marcotte obviously extended his. Ogawa left the Takada Dojo after falling out with Setsuji Kato. We re-signed Stefan Bonner he's in rings. He lost his against Bobby Southworth in rings, so he beat 6-1 if he beat him, but he went. So he lost. So now he's 5-2. We obviously extended Pat Miletich, Pedro the Rock Hizzo. We extended his deal. I thought this was interesting. Rich Franklin left the American Top Team, and then we re-signed Kevin Randleman. So Frank Trigg left. He'd been cut by the UFC. I thought that was because he lost to Nick Serra. That's a tough fight. He beat Brian Ebersol, but it was a poor fight. But then, he lost to both the Serras. So he's lost to Nick, Matt, and then he lost to Matt Hughes as well in the title fight. He just had, a tough, go of it in the UFC. But, here in the UFC, he could start off fresh. I've always liked Frank Trigg. So that's just kind of more of a personal thing. Plus, once we create the welterweight division, which should be next year in 2004, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun, easy fucking thing to do as far as, for us, to put them in the because I think we have a good handful of welterweights now. That's for sure. We have at least 10. Space out the middleweight division even more. Also, Murillo left Shoot the Box. And he joined Marco Hus's Vale Tudo, and then Stefan Bonner left Rough Sports. I can never pronounce that. I think I'm just gonna go with that. Rough Sports. I don't know, but Andrei Smirnov, we extended his Smirnov. Jesus, that's his Andrei Simonov, as he is 13-4. He just beat Scott Smith at the most recent ring show. He lost to Matt Sayers, really. He's lost to Andre Pavlovsky and Matt Sayers, his two biggest losses. Plus, he beat fucking Alistair Overeem's brother. I was trying to think. He should probably be up in Pride right now. He's been someone I've wanted to have in Pride for a while. But it's just, not yet. We'll wait one more fight. We'll definitely bring him in 2004. Maybe even later than that, as Frank Trigg, we did, obviously we signed him. Afterwards, I don't think we've have him contracted to fight anybody yet. He's only mid-level regional as far as names, as far as name value goes. But I think he'll definitely work out very well for us in Pride. We'll see, though. Sometimes it doesn't go well and you get sent back off the rings. As I think that's it. Don't have to really look at anything else. I think we're ready to run the show. The fucking Bob Sapp, Yoshihiro Takayama. What a fucking dream main event. Two big fucking guys, just giant men, beating the fuck out of each other. As Mark Kerr and Alistair Overeem, that's another two beefy dudes going at it. As Ricardo, Arona, Ryan Gracie, Carl Newton, and Ronaldo Sobral, Marco Hus, and Vulcan. That's going to be interesting. And then Fabricio taking on Tom Erickson. We have at least, 4 guys that are over 260 and 3 that are 265. Just a big-ass fucking card. As in the weight department, more than anything. As Masanori Suda and Yuki Kondo. So, this wasn't a part of the notes. I guess I deleted it. Or not the notes, the mail. So, Daniel Puder and Alexander Atsuka was supposed to have it on this card. Daniel Puder tore his rotator cuff during training. So, and it was a week before the actual, weigh-in. So, nobody wanted to take a fight. So, I had to move Masanori Suda and Yuki Kondo, which was booked for the Grand Prix Finals show. And put it up here to make it an even 8, even though it's on the main card. So, we're going to have only one prelim fight. It's Takashi Tsujiro, Rodrigo Gracie. Basically, whoever loses this is probably going to go down to rings. As fucking Takayama, Yoshihiro Takayama, taking on Bob the Beast Sapp. Fuck, this should have happened in, pro wrestling, for sure. Fucking IWGP Heavyweight title match, Bob Sapp, Yoshihiro Takayama, put in the Dome. That's a sellout, no problem. As, this is the second time Takayama's made it in the Pride show. This is the first time they fought, obviously. Bob Sapp's going to have a 6-inch reach advantage, and he has the betting odds having a huge margin favorite over Takayama. As the Smashing Machine, Mark Kerr, taking on Alistair, the Demolition Man, Overeem. Both fighters are world ranked super heavyweights. Kerr is 12th, Overeem 17th. Overeem retains a Golden Glory, which Mark Kerr has an overall record of 0-1 against other Kerr members. So Mark Kerr hasn't won since June of 2000. And it looks like from the Blurcat stat picks, he is going to lose this one as well. Just to kind of remind everybody what's happened with Mark Kerr. So he got knocked out by Gary Gilbert. Big upset. Lost to that. Simi Shalette beat his fucking ass. He lost to Big Nog by decision, then he just got knocked out in a TKO performance against Pedro Rizzo. So basically, he loses tonight. He's down the rings as well, which he'll be a huge name for rings. High-level fucking national name. Even though he's, he'll be 12-6-1. It's not a bad record by any means, but it's just, it is what it is. You gotta win. You gotta win to come back. As Brazilian Tiger, Ricardo Arona taking on Ryan Gracie. Arona's won 4 of his last 5 by decision. Ryan Gracie hasn't won since May of 2001, which he is 2-2 though. He hasn't really had a lot of fights. He lost to Merlio, Quentin Rampage Jackson, and he lost to Dennis Hallman. If he loses tonight, which he could, he might get sent down the rings. That's another one as well. We will most definitely see as having a fucking hold on. Sorry, we had a run-in. We had a cat playing with a bag, and I'm sure that was annoying to hear in the microphone. But here we have Ricardo Arona, Ryan Gracie. Get me back on track here. So the Blur Cat Sapp pick 6-1. Ricardo Arona. He has the significant weight advantage. I'm sure he will get the win as the Ronin. Carlos Newton taking on Ronaldo. Sobral. Both fighters are world-ranked light heavyweights. Sobral's 9th. Carlos Newton is 15th. That's pretty crazy. As the first time they have fought, Sobral is going to have a significant weight advantage, and he's going to have the 7-inch reach advantage, and he's going to be a big favorite to win this fight. This just seems like it's all Ronaldo Sobral. This is funny. This was, obviously supposed to be a part of the middleweight Grand Prix. Ronaldo Sobral got injured before their fight, and, got replaced by, I believe it was Merlio. Or no, was it, trying to think. Oh, yeah, it was Merlio, yeah. I was just not even looking. Yeah, it was Merlio, as he was not even supposed to, that's crazy. Merlio fucking would have been in a title fight against Vanderlei Silva. Opted not to do that, so instead he gets knocked out by Quentin Rampage Jackson as part of the semifinals. So then the King of the Streets, Marco Huss, taking on Vulcan, as both fighters are world-ranked super heavyweights. Marco Huss is 11th, Vulcan is 16th. The first time they have fought, and Hans will enjoy a significant weight advantage. Don't mind that, it's betting odds have him has a significant weight advantage, but the betting odds have Marco Huss as a huge margin favorite. As Tom Erickson taking on Fabricio Verdum, the big cat Tom Erickson. As the first time they have fought, Erickson hasn't won since March of 2001. Poor Tom Erickson. He wins the Grand Prix, and then just kind of goes downhill from there. He lost to Igor, then he beats Carlos Barreto, which everybody has beaten Carlos Barreto at this point. Then, Gary Goodrich knocked him out with a TKO. Andre Arlovsky beat him as well. Andre Arlovsky has had just a murderous row. Then Kazuki Fujita just now won with a rear naked choke to end out 2002 at Cold Fury 3. But that's, it's crazy. Like, he's knocked out Kevin Randleman. Like, he's beaten Gary Goodrich one time before that. And then he's beaten Ken Shamrock, which that was an awful match as well. And they beat Sakuraba. That was tough to have somebody fight 3 times in one night, is what that was. But here, it's a huge fight for Fabricio Verdum. It's a big fight for Tom Erickson. Will he finally get a win? But Verdum does have the 5-inch reach advantage. I think that could definitely have him out. As then Masanori Suda, Yuki Kondo, the opener of the main card. They have fought once before. It was at Rings in 2001. Masanori Suda won by submission. As Suda trains up Parestra, which Yuki Kondo has an overall record of 4-2-1 against other current members of that team. Suda's 16th in the middleweight division in Bride, and Yuki Kondo is 22nd. Masanori Suda 6-1 for the Blur Cat Stat picks. As Yuki Kondo, Lonely Dan is the one backing up Yuki Kondo on that one. And then the prelims, we have Takashi Tsujiro and Rodrigo Gracie. Takashi Tsujiro, love the man to death as a pro wrestler, MMA fighter. Not so much as Rodrigo Gracie is 1-3 as well. Takashi Tsujiro 0-2. He lost to Takayama, and I think it was Bob Zab. That was Jerome Banner. At the Shockwave show, got knocked the fuck out. Head kick to the dome. Dropped him. But, Rodrigo Gracie, he's kind of had a tough go about it. Fedor was his debut, and Merlio, and Quentin Rampage Jackson. He beat Lil Nog, though. So he got that going for him, but he had a tough kind of murderous row to start off his career. At least here with Takashi Tsujiro, he'll get a nice win, and hopefully bounce back, and hopefully have a Gracie who does not get his ass kicked. But we'll see, though. Takashi Tsujiro going up against Rodrigo Gracie. Prelims, 0-2, 1-3, plus 310, minus 400. It's kind of close, though. It's kind of close. Maybe Takashi Tsujiro uses size advantage to get the win. So our referee, our judges, at least 30 pounds on him does Takashi Tsujiro have. Underweight, they touch gloves, there's a takedown attempt, he gets the single leg. Now Tsujiro has to pull guard, fires off a few punches, attempts to pass guard, he passes the half guard. Now he's trying to get better position. He gains side control after getting his leg free from the half guard, looking to get in the mount. So Tsujiro has to roll to try to escape the mount, so now he just gives up his back. Looking for the rear naked choke, Tsujiro doesn't allow it. As he turns over Gracie, and then he ends up just in top of guard, that's nice. As now Tsujiro lunges forward and slams his shoulder into Gracie. Now Gracie smothering Tsujiro with close control, keeping him, stopping him from posturing up. As Tsujiro keeps him guessing with a few quick strikes. Now he's trying to sweep him. He does. He broke the guard, and now they end up both scrambling back to their feet. As he moves in and clinches the Tsujiro, now looking to muscle him up against the ropes. But he can't do it though. Gracie gets more dominant position in the grapple instead. Now he's looking for a leg sweep. He gets it. Quick inside leg trip. And he's got nothing to do but pull guard. Halfway into the first round now, he throws a few relatively weak-looking right hands as Rodrigo. So Gracie fires off some rights, but Tsujiro isn't troubled by them. And in guard, Gracie throws a couple of punches designed to keep Tsujiro guessing. Gracie pounds away, but Tsujiro isn't troubled by any of the strikes. Again, he pounds with rights, but fails to land anything significant. Now he's looking to get past the guard. After the struggle, he gets to half guard, fires off a few punches as he catches his breath. Gracie looks to pass half control into side control. He gains side control after getting his leg free from the half guard. Everything Tsujiro is doing off his back is about slowing down or frustrating Gracie, which is probably the best he can hope for. Yeah, that is true. You definitely need to just fight. That's all you gotta do. Just fight him off your back. Do everything you can. As Gracie fires off a few punches after he catches his breath, he begins trying to get himself in the mount. Tsujiro tries to sweep from the bottom, but he gets rolled and gives up his back instead. Now look for that rear naked choke, and again, Tsujiro defends it, and he survives the first round. So yeah, that was all probably Rodrigo Gracie. As you have 40 ground jabs, 40 to 5. 2 for 2 on takedowns. He can't get the rear naked choke, but he's been passing and sweeping at ease. It's a tough night for Takashi Tsujiro. 5 minutes left in the fight. As he moves in fast, Tsujiro wrestles his way into a dominant position in the clinch. As Tsujiro now just trying to muscle him up against the ropes. He can't do it though. Gracie's been doing that, been stopping that from happening. And now Gracie's going to be the one who's trying to muscle up Tsujiro against the ropes. He does so. And it isn't pretty, but Gracie's wearing Tsujiro down by keeping him trapped up against the ropes and forcing him to carry a lot of weight. Grueling grappling contest continues for the next 60 seconds, with both fighters looking to avoid leaving any openings. They're looking for a trip takedown. He gets it. 3 for 3 on takedowns now as Rodrigo Gracie fires off a few punches. Round time without any great force. Halfway now into the round, Gracie throws a few strikes, but is clearly slowing things down so he can think. In guard, Gracie can then just throw a couple of punches to the body. Gracie pounds away with rights, but fails to land anything significant. As he throws a few right hands, as he takes a moment to plan ahead, fires off a few punches, but they aren't thrown without any great force. Gracie pounds away with right hands, but doesn't do much damage. Again, he pounds away, but Tsujiro isn't troubled by the strikes. He unloads some right hands. Tsujiro deals with them comfortably, and again, isn't troubled by the right hands. And again, he commonly deals with them, but that's the end of the fight. Unanimous decision for Rodrigo Gracie. Going to be 2-3 after this. Takashi Tsujiro is going down the ring. So even though he's a high fucking, name value guy, rings could use him. He'll have fun down there. He'll take on guys that are more in his skill level. Rodrigo Gracie was probably the worst guy we have on our roster, and he still was a minus 400. That's tough. But he gets the win, and that's our last prelim fight. As Rodrigo Gracie name checks all of his sponsors, thanks to all of his fans who turned out to support him. He praised Tsujiro for the tough fight, as it's now Masanori Suda taking on Yuki Kondo, minus 180, plus 140. 22-10, 28-15-3, 5-11, both 185. As no team for Yuki Kondo, Paresta for Masanori Suda. Big John McCarthy, a referee. I don't think Big John McCarthy was our referee at the last card, too. That was kind of interesting. But here, for ringside judges, they weighed in both at 185, but now Yuki Kondo is much bigger now. Opening bell, they touch gloves. Neither fighter can land a significant shot. Yuki Kondo looks confident, shortening the range. He looks to strike. A jab is wide from Kondo, but the following leg kick misses. Kondo comes in looking to strike. He hits 2 tentative left hands, does Masanori Suda, neither with anything behind them. as Kondo fails to find home for his jab, but he then hits a nice straight right hand that lands hard. As Yuki Kondo chooses to shoot in on Suda, can't get down. He can't get past the sprawl of Suda, and he gets pushed down onto his hands and knees instead. As he fires away with punches, but only a few actually find their way through. As Suda prepares to throw a knee strike, but can't keep control of Kondo, who's able to spring back up. They clinch up, start jockeying for position. Yuki Kondo wrestles his way to the dominant position in the clinch. He gets caught with a knee strike to the body as they grapple. He's trying to push Suda so that his back is up against the ropes. He can't do it though, and he ends up being out-wrestled in the grapple. Suda tries to take Kondo down. Kondo blocks the takedown attempt and takes control of the grapple. Tries to wrestle Suda backwards and up against the ropes. Yuki Kondo can't do it though, and Suda gets a more dominant position in the grapple. With complete control of the clinch, Suda tries to complete a takedown. He stops the takedown attempt and then uses his wrestling to take control of the grapple. Using his wrestling skills, Yuki Kondo is trying to push Suda up against the ropes. Suda ends up backed up against the ropes as Kondo looks for a takedown, but grappling both his opponent's legs and trying to trip him up in the mat. Suda blocks the attempt by keeping a solid base. Yuki Kondo looks for a takedown by grabbing both of his opponent's legs, trying to take him to the mat. He does so. It's a big takedown. He's left on a turtled up Masanori Suda. Halfway into the first round, Suda gets quickly back to his feet, although Yuki Kondo does get back control. Controlling Suda from behind, Yuki Kondo tries to complete the takedown. As Yuki Kondo doesn't have to struggle, he swiftly takes Suda down with ease. As he can't shift Kondo, does Yuki Kondo, who ends up on top of him, having to take in the back. So now he's trying to get both hooks in, but he can't quite manage it. Suda tries to turn over and sweep Kondo, but he can't do it. And now looking for that rear naked choke. Suda defends himself well against the choke. He tries to turn him over and sweep Kondo, but again, he can't do it. He pounds away, but is unable to land many clean shots on Suda as he prevents the body triangle. This is Masanori Suda. And Yuki Kondo blocks the roll. Another rear naked choke attempt, and again, Masanori Suda stops it. He can't budge Yuki Kondo. Looking for that body triangle, but again, he can't get it. And again, we're just at a stalemate now. A minute left in the round. Suda prevents himself from falling into more bigger trouble by blocking the hooks. As again, he blocks him on the roll. Looking for that rear naked choke, and again, it gets blocked for the third time. He tries to roll, but he doesn't budge, and that's the end of the first round. So, it's close, but I think Yuki Kondo gets the win on that round. You have the strike exchange. It's still really close. It's, 8-9, but the takedowns give him the lead for sure, and the actual having control of the match with the fight rather. Looking for that rear naked choke and keeping him in the dominant position. The honor of our first round. I think both fighters are now a bit frustrated. Here we go. 5 minutes left in the fight. Suda looked like he was going to shoot, but Kondo simply took the initiative first. Yuki Kondo connects with a nice jab, then catches Suda with a crunching right hook, gets in close clinches with Yuki Kondo, as Masanori Suda attempts a leg sweep to put him on the ground. He doesn't get it. Yuki Kondo blocked it, so now 0 for 3 on takedowns. Suda again looking for a takedown. This time he gets it, though. Yuki Kondo's going to be on his back, and he has to pull a guard. Suda attempts to pass half guard and gain better position. He passes, but loses the control momentarily. A scramble begins. Suda's up first, quickly grabs Kondo as he too stands up and gets back control. Looking for a trip takedown from behind, as shows stubborn resistance, and Suda cannot complete the takedown. Under back control, Kondo struggles free and returns to the center. Halfway into the second round now, Suda slowing down a bit, getting to the deeper reaches of the gas tank, and now Yuki Kondo's still moving well, but he's definitely breathing a little deeper. They clinch up, start jacking for position. Yuki Kondo aggressively gets the dominant position. Tries to push Suda to the so that his back's up against the ropes. Suda out-wrestles him, though, and now he's looking for the trip takedown. Kondo stops it, takes control of the grapple thanks to his wrestling, and he tries to push him back up against the ropes, but he isn't going anywhere, as Masanori Suda blocks that. He hits a knee strike to the body as they grapple to Yuki Kondo. He blocks the knee strike that time, though, does Masanori Suda. Looking to muscle Suda back up against the ropes. He does so. Now Suda's stuck with his back to the ropes with 35 seconds left in the fight. Suda still hits a small few punches to the ribs. Now and Masanori again, he scores a few punches to the ribs. Yuki Kondo goes low and keeps a hold of a single leg, leaving Suda hopping in danger of getting taken down. He does so. He uses the leg to pull Suda down on the mat and is able to control side control, and that's the end of the round. Yuki Kondo again with the takedown. Masanori Suda, he punched him 5-3 there, but I'd still, unanimous decision, Yuki Kondo would be my choice in that. Yes, that is it. It was rated decent at least. So now Yuki Kondo, as he him and Masanori Suda. He avenges that loss at Rings, so we'll see what happens. If we'll, I don't think we'll ever do a trilogy, but maybe we will. There's a lot of time left, as both in their careers, 30 and 28 years old. So I completely fucked up what he said in the interview. I was already talking and just letting it rip, and just didn't have no idea what he said. But moving on, next match, in which Fabricio Verdum takes on Tom the Big Cat Erickson. Tom Erickson, 39 years old, never know when he might hang it up, as he's 12-4-1. Fabricio Verdum is 2-0, plus 160, minus 210. This way, Big Cat Erickson was gonna take on Frank Mir at the American Bushido show, but alas, that is not happening. Alas, that is going to be here at Absolute Fury in Japan, taking on Fabricio Verdum. Big John McCarthy, our referee, our judges. Verdum's going to give up at least 30 pounds to Tom Erickson. Round 1 begins. There's a takedown attempt 10 seconds in. As he gets the big takedown, and he gets side control out of it. Erickson pounds away with rights, but fails on anything significant. He tries to transition to guard, but he can't manage it. Erickson pounds away with rights, but again, doesn't do much damage. He blocks an attempt to pull guard. Looking for a Kimura. Verdum doesn't allow it, as he tries to move to guard, but Erickson doesn't allow it. And again, a few weak-looking punches. He decides his next move. He blocks Verdum as he tries to transition to guard. Another Kimura attempt, and again, doesn't get locked in. Tries to pull guard on Erickson, but doesn't get anywhere with the attempt, as Big John McCarthy stands him back up. Yeah, they've been like 4 minutes on the ground. Both fighters seem to have the same idea to come together and clinch. Erickson wrestles his way into the dominant position. He tries to push Verdum so that his back is up against the ropes. He does so. Now Verdum is stuck with his back to the ropes. Smothered against the ropes, Verdum is trapped, unable to get free. Full minute passes, the two opponents pressed up close and exchanging short punches to the body and the side of the head. Verdum can't get free of it, as they're there for another fucking minute or so, hitting each other with short punches. As again, Big John McCarthy has to bring him back into the center. Erickson aggressively comes forward, willing to risk getting hit so they can grapple. As Verdum connects with a nice jab and then catches Erickson with a crunching right hook. He can't hit the Sapp left jab and hits Erickson with a straight right. Erickson gets a hold of Verdum without taking too much damage at that time, though, as he tries to muscle Verdum up against the ropes. He does so. Now Verdum is pinned. As he's grinding his opponent down, Erickson keeps Verdum pressed tightly towards the ropes. Another 60 seconds of just both fighters looking to avoid leaving any openings. Just grueling grappling contest. As an ugly but effective tactic, Erickson again pressing Verdum up against the ropes, slowly wearing him down, just putting his body weight onto him. They exchange short punches to the body for a minute, as now again, for the third time in this round, Big John McCarthy has to break it up, as they starting to slow down a touch as Tom Erickson, perhaps conserving a little energy. Erickson wanting to grapple, but comes forward. He appears willing to risk a few shots to close the distance, as a jab is wide for Verdum, but then scores with the right cross, and Erickson grabs Verdum, and again trying to muscle up against the ropes, and he does. But that's the first round, as it is a lot of jabs and a lot of ground strikes from Tom Erickson. He's 1 for 1 on the takedowns. Verdum, if he can knock him out, I think is the only way he's going to win this one. Tom Erickson has his game plan. He's going to wear him down, just put all of his body weight on him, either on the ground with a takedown or in the ropes. It's going to be a tough one for Fabricio Verdum to win. Yep, bit of a snoozer as last round begins. Verdum gets close enough to clinch. He tries to take it down to the ground. Verdum attempts, and it's a violent counter though. He just drives him into the ground with a vicious slam to Tom Erickson. He's allowed to stand back up as Erickson just stepped away. That's interesting. I figured they'd go keep control of the ground there, but both fighters have the same idea. They come together and clinch, as Erickson manages to be aggressively get a good control of the clinch there, as Erickson's trying to muscle him up against the ropes. He does so. Now he's pinned him. Yep, next minute, they just, short punch to the body and the side of the head. Again, next minute or so, just close quarters, dirty boxing. John McCarthy breaks him up for the 4th time in this fight. Few deep breaths portray that Erickson's starting to get into the deeper reaches of his gas tank. He steps in, seemingly willing to take strikes, if that means getting close enough to wrestle. A jab hits home from Verdum and then scores the right cross. He's still moving well as Verdum, but he's definitely breathing a little deeper now. Minute left in the fight, as Verdum aggressively moves in, grapples with Erickson. As again, he's trying to take him down the ground, and again, it gets countered, as he gets slammed by Tom Erickson, who's looking blown up at this point. He motions for Verdum to stand up, which he does. They come together and clinch and start wrestling. Erickson is the aggressor one, but we don't get to see what happens. So that's the end of the fight. Tom Erickson's going to win by a unanimous decision. And he gets his first win in over 2 years. Maybe 3 years. I already forgot. It was March 2001 is when they last one. So he has 2 years. He gets the average win over Fabricio Verdum. Who now Verdum gets his first loss. Thanks all of his sponsors and all of his fans. He says he has a lot of respect for Fabricio Verdum, who praises his toughness. As we have the king of the streets, Marco Huss, taking on Vulcan. As Marco Huss is 42 years old. Vulcan is 42 years old. The fucking dads of pride going at it. 6'3", 235. Marco Huss, 6'1", 215. Obviously, Huss Valley Tudo is what his style and his camp is. The Sambo style from Vulcan, of course. Red Devil Sport. Plus 640, minus 180, or 810. There's the dyslexia for you. As, here we go. The Big John McCarthy standing back out there as our referee. Our judges. As start with a touch of gloves. Seeing his opponent about to shoot in, Vulcan timed it well and moved in to start the clinch. Han tries to take Huss down. He blocks the attempt and takes control of the grapple. Tries to knee him, but Vulcan defends himself well. Look at the muscle Vulcan back up against the ropes. He does so. Now Vulcan is stuck with his back to the ropes. As he's looking for a judo-style throw, he does so. An excellent outside leg trip sees Vulcan get thrown to the mat, and Huss has no problem getting side control. Looking for a knee bar. Vulcan fights off the knee bar. Tries to move to guard, but Huss doesn't allow it. Is now looking for a knee bar again. He gets it. He gets the knee bar, and he has fully applied it, and Vulcan has no option but to tap out. King of the Streets, Marco Huss, gets the win by submission. As rated decent. As Marco Huss gives a name check to everyone of Russo Valley Tudo, all of his various sponsors, then his friends, family, supporters. Watching replays of the finish, Marco Huss says that he's very proud to have caught Vulcan with such technique. Such a technique that just didn't sound grammatically correct. As the Ronin, Carlos Newton, squares off against Ronaldo Sobral, 10-6-1, 14-3, Dragon Ball Jiu-Jitsu, Lucha Libre wrestling style of Ronaldo Sobral, both 27. Ronaldo Sobral's going to have the height and weight advantage, and he's going to have the betting odds favored. Both men don't have a team, though. That's interesting. Minus 480, plus 380. Big John McCarthy just staying out there as refereeing again. Our judges, they're going to have a significant weight advantage. Is Sobral, 25 pounds. Opening bell. We don't get a touch of gloves to start it off, as Newton looked like he was about to step in and grapple, but Sobral simply took the initiative first. A jab hits home from Sobral, then he hits Newton with a straight right. Get up close, they start wrestling. Sobral looks like he was gotten better of the clinch, though, as he uses a knee strike from the grapple and catches Newton to the side of the stomach. As Sobral trying to lock Newton into a Muay Thai clinch, Newton doesn't let himself get caught and slips out of the grapple. Sobral shoots in for the takedown. Newton partially defends it, ends up hopping on one foot, while Sobral has the other one. Unable to complete the takedown, Sobral instead pushes Newton up against the ropes, and now he drops us down, wraps his arms around his opponent's legs, looking to try to take him down. As he gets the takedown, Newton pulls guard. Sobral fires away with punches, but Newton doesn't take any undue damage. The attack does see Sobral get pushed away, though, right out of the guard, and he is now standing. He tries to secure a ground position, doesn't get any further than being in guard. As he tries to pass the guard, Newton allows the pass, but it's just a ploy to allow him to try and scramble. The scramble sees Newton up first, only to be grabbed and wrestled up against the ropes immediately, with the ropes trapping Newton. Sobral looks like looking to try and take him down by going low and taking out both legs. He gets it. Newton gets slammed down, ending up on his hands and knees with Sobral on top of him. That's not good. As now Newton scrambles backwards, but Sobral gets back control instead. As now looking to just pull him right back down. He does so, as Newton could not do nothing to stop that one, as Newton winds up going chest first into the mat, making a simple task for Sobral just simply hold on and take his back. Makes sense. Now he's getting into a really dominant position. Applies a body triangle, looking for the rear naked choke. Newton's got to fight it off for 6 whole minutes now. Good luck with this, as Sobral fires away, and Newton is clearly hurt by a couple of nasty-looking punches, as he's looking for that rear naked choke. But again, Newton defends it, and look for the third time. He gets it, though. Third time's a charm. Newton gets flattened out with the rear naked choke, and he has to tap. 15-3 for Ronaldo Sobral, 10-7-1 for Carlos Newton. The Ronin loses this one. It's rated good, though. Yeah, it was a good little fight, as Ronaldo Sobral thanks all of his sponsors for backing him, and then also thanks his family, friends, and supporters. As the Brazilian Tiger, Ricardo Arona taking on Ryan Gracie. 6-2, 2-3. If Ryan Gracie loses this one, he's probably going down to rings. We'll see. So our referee, our judges, fight begins. Obviously, yeah, they're not going to touch gloves. These two have a blood feud going on. Comes in looking for the takedown. He gets the big takedowns. Ends up in half guard. Arona throws a few strikes, but they're thrown without venom. As he fires off a handful of punches, each easily being blocked with gloves. Arona blocks Gracie, rather. He tries to transition to full guard. As he throws some small strikes, but it's clearly just taking a moment to try and catch his breath. He throws a few right hands, but is mainly trying to catch his breath. And again, Arona blocks the transition to full guard. As throws a few right hands. He's trying to take a moment to plan ahead. He keeps him guessing with a few quick strikes. As he blocks the transition again. Referee stands up back up. Gracie moves in on Arona preparing to throw. Arona looked like he was going to shoot, but Gracie simply took the initiative first. Throws a punch, but Arona avoids it. A punch from Gracie fails to land. Gracie lands a left jab, but Arona avoids the big right. Arona shoots in for the takedown. He gets the single leg, and now Gracie's left on his back. Gracie's controlled against the ground, unable to shift Arona off him, smothers him. As he's just, again, smothering him. And again, just letting the clock run out. I can't believe Ricardo Arona is being this much of a pansy about it, as Gracie's controlled up against the ground and then able to shift Arona off of him. You know, this blood feud, you figure they just try to stand and throw down, but obviously, this is a sport after all. He's just trying to get the win. As Gracie closes the distance, obviously looking to strike. Arona appeared to be going for a takedown, but Gracie took the initiative of it. Gracie hits a left hand, but misses with a vicious right hand. As Gracie throws a quick punch, doesn't hit it. Arona takes the chance and shoots in on Gracie. And then the takedown's complete. Gracie's left on his back and he has a pull guard. Yeah, he hasn't stopped a single takedown. As Arona fires away with punches, but Gracie doesn't take any undue damage. He blocks the attempted sweep. In half guard, Arona keeps him guessing. As with the punches, blocks the attempted sweep. As that's the minute left in this first round now. Arona punches down as Gracie gets the easily taken on the gloves. Gracie tries to sweep from the bottom with a half guard, but doesn't budge. And that's the end of the first round, as I did not look at the fight metrics, as it has basically been all Ricardo Arona. Didn't really need to look at the fight metrics. 36-2, 3 for 3 on takedowns. This is I don't think even Ryan Gracie, he's going to have to win this by submission or knockout if he's going to win this one. I don't think he can get a split decision win at this point. As there's Arona takedown, 4 for 4, single leg takedown. Boy, oh boy. He tries to pound on Gracie, but all the blows are comfortably dealt with. Gracie attempts an armbar from the bottom, but he doesn't let his arm get taken. Smothers him now. As, again, just slipping away. Again, he can't shift him off of him. As halfway point in the round, Arona throws a few weak-looking punches. He decides his next moves as he leans back to avoid a couple of wild slings from Gracie. Referee stands him back up. Gracie slowing just a little bit as he starts to get into the gas tank. Arona backing off, hits a weak left hand as he can't connect with the Sapp strikes. Then it's a nice straight right hand, and there's a cut underneath his eye of Ricardo Arona. Now he's looking for the takedown again. What's it now? 5 for 5 on takedowns? Maybe, yeah, 5 for 5 on takedowns. Arona fires off a few punches. They aren't thrown without any great force. Tries to pull guard on Arona, but doesn't get anywhere with the attempt. He throws a few right hands to the body. He blocks the attempt to pull guard. Hits a knee strike to the ribs, but it doesn't connect properly because Gracie was moving too much. And that is the end of the fight. And your winner, by unanimous decision, Ricardo Arona. There you go. And it was rated very poor. That makes sense. Wasn't very good. As Ryan Gracie, down the ring to go. As Ricardo Arona thanks all of his sponsors for backing him, and then also thanks his family, friends, supporters. He asked who he'd like to face next, and he answers that Keith Jardine would be someone he'd like to compete against. As Ricardo Arona is good in these interviews, knows how to sell himself. Is the Smashing Machine, Mark Kerr, taking on Alistair, the Demolition Man, Overeem. As my God, two big motherfuckers going at it. As wrestling background, Muay Thai background, Lions Den, Golden Glory, plus 230, minus 290, 6'3", pro record, 12, 5-1, no contest for Mark Kerr. Toledo, Ohio. Taking on, from the Netherlands, I can never pronounce that. As our referee, our judges. Round 1 begins. Start with the touch of gloves. Kerr moves in and out of range, hoping to tempt his opponent into a reckless strike and leaving him open to start a grapple. He can't connect to the jab and then lands a right hand to the body to Overeem. He lands a left hand, then lands a roundhouse kick to the body. He fails to find home for the jab, but it lands the roundhouse kick to the body. A punch from Overeem fails to land. as he can't hit the setup left jab, but it then hits Kerr with the beauty of a straight right, as Overeem moves in behind 4 quick punches, 4 of them finding home, and then hits Kerr with the beauty of a straight. So 5-punch combo. Now he can't connect with the jab, and hits a high right head kick to the side of the head, and again another high head kick. How does Mark Kerr just survive this? As he was looking to angling in to grapple, but he couldn't take the initiative. As a quick flurry of 4 punches from Overeem sees them all hit home, then hits a nice straight right hand that landed hard again. Mark Kerr surviving this one as he comes in looking to strike, and there's a sick right head kick. The third one, he wobbles and falls. There's a knockdown. And now, without hesitation, Overeem goes to the finish off Mark Kerr with stomps and kicks. Overeem viciously stomps and kicks away at a stunned Mark Kerr, but somehow can't put him away. Mark fucking Kerr, ladies and gentlemen. This man is a fucking machine staying in there, getting his ass handed to him, and is not getting knocked out. Kerr tries to connect with an up kick, but it just makes Overeem step back, as he has to step back to avoid another up kick, and again with another up kick. As Kerr makes Overeem step back by throwing a vicious up kick. Some more up kicks as Overeem tries to come in and secure ground position. He tries to get free, but Overeem is able to secure side control halfway into the first round now, as he takes a knee strike to the ribs now, does Mark Kerr. As inside control, he just throws a couple of punches designed to keep Mark Kerr guessing. Overeem blocks Kerr as he tries to transition the guard. A wrestler background. On his back, he can't do anything about this. Overeem keeps Kerr guessing with a few quick strikes. Tries to transition the guard, but he can't manage it. Overeem is trying to move from side control to mount. He almost gets it, but Kerr bucks his hips at the last second and starts scrambling. He ends up pulling half guard, losing out in the scramble, as he throws a few weak-looking punches as he decides his next move, now on top, and now hopefully looking to get something out of this first round as he starts to work to get out of that half control into better, or half guard rather, into better position. He passes, but loses his control momentarily, and the scramble begins. As Scramble sees him, Overeem back to his feet, and both men back to their feet, as he tries to Mark Kerr trying to drive him up against the ropes. As Overeem tries to get Kerr into the Muay Thai clinch, he can't manage it, as Kerr smartly turns them around so that he's up in the dominant position in the ropes. Now he's just trying to smother him. 60 seconds now, they're just trying to not get caught. Again, smothering him, and hitting, rest of the round is just hitting each other with short punches from that position. As, my God, you have to give that one to Alistair Overeem with the knockdown. That's tough. Mark Kerr, man, I can't believe he didn't get knocked out. That was crazy. He got knocked out, or he got knocked down, and then he got it fucking head kicked. Still kept going. Unbelievable. 5 minutes left in the fight. Overeem fails to find home for his jab, but he then hits Kerr with a straight right. And then there's a fantastic right cross after he can't connect with the jab, and he knocks him out cold with that one. Alistair, the Demolition Man Overeem, is 7-3 as a knockout win there, as Alistair Overeem getting the win, knocking out Mark Kerr in the second round with the cross, as Mark Kerr 12-6-1 no contest. We're going to send them down the rings. We're going to let them have fun in rings. They could use somebody like that. I know that their biggest kind of name is Randy Couture, which is awesome. We'll probably bring up Randy Couture at some point to have him take on, whether it be Big Nog or just anybody at this point. But Alistair Overeem, thanks everyone connected to Golden Glory for helping him prepare for this fight, then his sponsors for supporting him financially. As Alistair Overeem, oozing confidence, says he has the power in his hands to knock anyone out. It says that anyone who doesn't believe him should just ask Mark Kerr. Boy, oh boy. As now it's main event time. Bob the Beast Sapp versus Yoshihiro Takayama. 6'5", 265, 1-1, 2-2, minus 930, plus 740. Brawler catch wrestling is the styles of these two fighters. This is going to be fucking... Mario Yamasaki is the second best, probably, referee for this. Big John McCarthy would have been the first. But Mario Yamasaki, someone is going to die, thanks to this man. As our judges, about to fight in front of his home crowd, Takayama, unsurprisingly, gets a loud ovation from the crowd as he makes his entrance. Opening bell, they start with a touch of gloves. They come together and strike. Takayama misses the right hook and leaves himself open to be countered with a jab and a right hand. Move in and engage. Takayama misses the right cross that leaves him wide open for the counter. Sapp comes in with a clean right hand as Takayama looks like he has a broken nose, blood everywhere. It only took not even 30 seconds, almost 31 seconds to be exact, for someone to get a broken nose. So now Takayama's got some major problems with his breathing. Like he already needs any more trouble with that. He's 6'5", 265 pounds. That man isn't built to fight for 15 minutes. As Takayama hits a left cross, as Sapp scores the great right hook, as now, a minute. It took Bob Sapp a minute to get blown up. That's hilarious. As moving forward constantly, Bob Sapp is pressuring Takayama. He steps into the pocket. He fails to find home the jab, but then hits Takayama with the beauty of a straight right hand. They come together and strike. Sapp has a right hand blocked. Takayama can't hit the right cross. Sapp is looking very tired out there. They engage. Takayama misses the right cross that leaves him wide open for the counter. Sapp comes in with a good right hand, really using that huge reach advantage well there. As he moves in and engage, he slips past the right hook and counters with the right cross. They come together and strike. And he slips past the right hook, does Bob Sapp, and counters with a vicious right cross, and he knocks him out with the right cross. Bob fucking Sapp. The Beast has done it. He's 2-1. Sorry about your luck, Yoshihiro Takayama. I would have paid $1,000,000 yen to see this. That would have been fucking awesome. Oh my god, what a fight. As Bob Sapp name checks all of his sponsors, then thanks all of his fans who turned out to support him watching the replay of the finish. Sapp says he's really happy with that, and that he landed it perfectly, a testament to his training. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. As, yeah, the very poor Ricardo, Arona, Ryan Gracie fight really brought the critical rating down, I think, as, man, I think it would have been in the 70s, had it not been for that, but that's okay, though. We had a good main, good co-main, couple of knockouts. You always love that. You always love to see some knockouts, as my god. So we got a couple of people being dropped down the ring, especially in the heavyweight division. We got, Kirk is going to get dropped down, even though, he's going to be outside the top 15 in Pride. That's tough, but, you know, it's time. You know, let's have him fight somebody else. You know, he's lost to now Get Goodrich, Simi Chalette, Big Nog, Hizzo, and Alistair Overeem. Yeah, that is, you know, a bit of a murderer's row. It's people that are really good, but it's, you know, it's time. It's time. He had a no contest with Igor. If we have that fight again, Igor's just gonna beat him. You know, it's tough. It's time. It's time. Let him fight somewhere else. Wow. 23,000 people are in attendance for this one. Of course they would be. You gotta be. For a fight like this, yeah, it's a fucking sellout. It's Bob Sapp with the fight of the night. Of course it was. Alistair Overeem with a KO, and Marco Hoos being the only submission gets the submission of the night. That's fun. Fucking Bob Sapp making $300,000 for that one. Takayama $226. Hell yeah. So that will do it for episode 25. What a 25th episode that was. That was so much fun. As now we're going on to the first ever American show for Pride. It's the American Bushido card. As I just want to look at the mail. Enzo Gracie left Jiu-Jitsu. As we're going to send some people down and whatnot. Takayama broke his nose. That's crazy. Yeah, so, and then we'll re-sign Carlos Newton and Ricardo Arona. As I did, you know, that's, I don't think Carlos Newton has now lost to Murillo and Ronaldo Sobral, plus he had the draw. Looking bad for, I love Carlos Newton. That's gonna suck to do that. As we're gonna loan out Marker. He's gonna do great. He'll do great in rings. He'll do great, and then we're gonna loan out Takashi Tsujiro. Hopefully he'll get a win. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, as far as guys I want to bring up from rings, Omar Soleoff, he's someone, you know, he's 12-3, 8-0 in rings. Mario Sparrow, he's someone, you know, he's the light heavyweight champion in rings. At 37 years old, it's kind of like we kind of have to bring him up now, or we'll miss out on opportunity. Like, he could take on Vanderlei Silva for sure, especially with how Vanderlei has just been on a tear and a half. Randy Couture, you know, we talked about. He's the heavyweight champion, as I think he was. Maybe he's not anymore. I could have swore he was. But yeah, I mean, he's the second heavyweight in the world, third in rings. He's 40 years old, so it's kind of like a now or never type of scenario. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. As yeah, you know, Andrei Semenov talked about earlier. Flavio Luis Morales here, he is someone that, he's 30-1 and he just lost to Omar. He got knocked out. He was someone, for sure. Let's see how's Evan Tanner just doing. Did he win his last fight? I know he's taking on Nate Corey. No, yeah, that's his first fight in rings was Nate Corey. That's a tough fight, though. Tough fight for sure. Our credibility and stability kind of goes down after every show, especially after one like that. Yeah, just a major mismatch of the betting odds. Same thing with Mod. Yeah. Oh, a ratings difference. Wow. I didn't think Fabricio Verdun was that much of a mismatch. I guess he was. But that's okay, though. It's basically anything like 75 is the default. So you want to be above 75. Stability, again, same thing. So we're doing okay with that. So yeah, on to American Bushido 1. And then the Grand Prix finals hopefully can happen in November. If all things go well, Chuck Liddell can fight in that amount of time period and train for the camp or whatnot. If not, we'll make it Shockwave. And then we'll just do something, we'll call it something else in November. But, our card's almost halfway there. We got 4 guys, just need 4 more fights. Or we got 4 fights, just need 4 more to make it 8. And same thing with the Shockwave. I think Shockwave we only have 2, though. Yeah. We'll have to start adding more. Now we're getting really close. Getting to the Novembers and Decembers. We're getting there. Just 3 more cards left in 2003 and then on to 2004. What a crazy-ass time. As thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys next week. Take care.